Greetings and welcome back to NHK Japan News. Right now we just got a report that child abusers Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup has arrived in Tokyo from Go City. We will go live with maid Ina Kate, who's at front of the courthouse. The late adjusted Tokyo. Can you hear me, Kate?
I'm here. I'm in front of the courthouse in Tokyo in Japan, and the child abusers has arrived at Tokyo in Japan. They will heading to court for their time.
You people are better to let us go right now. You can't do this to us. We mean it. What? Oh my god, Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Those people, they
are angry at us. This can't be.
Moving child abuser, we are going to the court.
Oh my god, they are cheering for me.
And now Buttercup is now arrived in Japan in Tokyo. Her abused parents is now in the court and face the consequence. Everyone is cheering at her back to our live.
Let's go, Buttercup. It's time for your parents' court so you can explain all this keeps happening to you.
I can't wait for those people to teach my parents a lesson.
Now we will go on live event of the trial of Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup inside Japan court. Life event begins now.
Court is now in session, so we are going in the record in matter of people versus Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup, who convicted of giving their daughter a punishment day at 11 times in a row, abusing her so badly and murdered her many times. Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup, do you realize how much damage you've done to your daughter's life, and you almost about to chainsaw her by giving her her 11th punishment day? Luckily the police stopped you in time. You even gave her a worst Thanksgiving special by abusing her many times, brutally and injuring her 247, murdered her few times, but luckily goanimate logic always brought and heal her back to life. Destruction her room few times. Like, what is wrong with you people? Do you have anything to say for this?
For you information, Buttercup is the worst Cartoon Network characters and everyone we could have. She always caused trouble and caused destruction to Go City. She deserved to have a punishment day.
I agree with Professor. She's nothing but a troublemaker and she deserves to be punished big time, and she also destroyed my PS5 at the few years ago.
The reason why Buttercup destroy your PS5 because you always treat her, ruining her life and being a worst sisters.
I agree with Professor and Blossom. She even gets revenge on us and ruining our life. She also flushes me down the toilet a few months ago. She doesn't deserve to live on this earth.
The reason why Buttercup flushes you down the toilet because how the way you getting her into the trouble. I agree with Professor Blossom and Bubble. Buttercup is my worst sisters ever. She also put the bullet ant on me at the class. She also make a grounded video out of me at few weeks ago. I give her a concussion time, and what she done to me.
Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup, do you realize how much you put me through? I am getting tired of you grounding me and giving me a punishment day non-stop, and I had to get revenge on you because how the way you treated me like a slave and punching back. You are the worst parents I ever had. You gave away my freedom and punished me my life.
Shut up, Buttercup. You brought this to us to yourself. You don't ever talk to us like that. If you dare speak to us that way again, me and your sisters will.
Shut up, Professor. Your daughter has a right point about you. Don't even think about giving your daughter punishment day cause you're in handcuffs. You have no remorse at all. You should realize that this is child abuse and how badly you treated her and punished her way to the extreme. You and your sisters should be very ashamed of yourselves.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, Inspector.
The officers have found and brought the other criminals who had abused Buttercup. Is Miss Martin Buttercup's teacher's principal, PC Guy Buttercup's principal, Buttercup's sisters Bliss, Buttercup's classmates Kaylu, Rosie and Daisy, along with their parents Boris and Doris. The officers are already bringing them here to court right now.
Good.
Oh my god, please tell me this is true.
What? Don't tell us that they...
Hey, get your hands off of this right now.
You better let us go at once. You can't do this to us.
Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup.
Hi, Miss Martin, Principal, PC Guy, Bliss, Boris, Doris, Kalo, Rosie and Daisy. It seems they arrest and brought you here too.
And Professor, what's going on? And I see Buttercup next to the judge.
Rosie, these people are giving angry stares at us, all of us.
Oh god, they are really angry at us. I really feel like something is wrong. I feel so scared.
Oh no, this is really making me uncomfortable and scared.
Well, looks like we got more criminals who abused Buttercup in my court.
Hey, who are you to call us a criminals? Buttercup is a criminal and should be in jail. And
Shut up, Bliss, you are criminals cause you abused Buttercup and punched Buttercup into the car on the Thanksgiving special for saying the N-word to you. Now that you child abusers are here, let's continue with the session. And Martin, you are convicted of abusing Buttercup. Being a strict teachers also send her to the principal office and detention non-stop. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, Buttercup is my worst student in my class. She never pay attention and cause trouble in my class and ruining Kaylo's life. Not only that, she forces me to eat her test at few years ago in February. She also failed my class and test. She deserved to get punished by her parents and get a school meeting.
Then is no excuse to do that to your student, and I believe why she forced you to eat the test, because how the way you treated her and give a lot of hard tests. You should be ashamed. You should realize that teachers cannot abuse their students like that. You are a horrible excuse of a teachers.
Hey, you don't speak to her like that. Who do you think you are? You should be.
Shut your mouth, Principal PC Guy. I'm the judge here, and you are also convicted of abused Buttercup. Allow child abuse at your school. What do you have to say for this matter?
Well, I allow child abuse because bad students needs to teach a lesson. Buttercup is my worst students in my school. She also misbehaved at first day at school, and I expelled her for putting a bullet ant on blondish Buttercup in Miss Martin's class for teach her a lesson for being the worst student in my school.
Oh no, you don't. You should realize that allowing child abuse at your school is very illegal. Not only you always suspended and expelled her from the school for no reason, you realize should be a serious crime to do that. You are seriously a terrible excuse of a principal. Bliss, you also convicted of child abuse, violent punishment and murder your sisters. What do you to say for yourselves?
So Buttercup is the worst sisters I ever had, ever since when she said ruining the Christmas party, and I do deal to punch Buttercup on the Thanksgiving special, and I had to do, and she also sing the bad word song on Easter. She deserves all that.
That was very insane of you to do that. Bliss, punch Buttercup so bad and trick her that there's stuff she wished and went to the portal and heal. You are seriously psychopaths right now. Next, Caillou Anderson, you are convicted of assault psychological and beat Buttercup up at the class. What do you have to say for yourself, young man?
Well, Buttercup is my worst classmates and my worst enemy ever. She beat me up in my class and caused a chaos and started the argument at the school. She deserves for trying ruining my life, so I teach her a lesson for what she done to me.
Says the one who tried to ruin Buttercup's life. You've been snitching on her, and you tried to stop Buttercup for trying to stop his mother calling Caillou's father and killed. You do not realize beating people is the serious crime. To do that, you should be ashamed yourself.
Hey, you hurt my son's feeling and made him cry. Who do you think you are?
I didn't say you can talk, Mr. Anderson, and also you too convicted of child abuse and sending bad picture out of Buttercup for Google herself. What do you two say for yourself for this?
Well, I'm not sorry for what I did to Buttercup. She keep ruining my son's life. She've been bullying, harassing and hurting my son.
I agree with my husband. We also send Buttercup a bad picture out of her and what she done to my son for beating him up.
Well, your son is the one who is ruining Buttercup's life. You heard what I said to her. If she doesn't snitch on Buttercup and mind her own business, then this wouldn't happen. You also unground your son for beat Buttercup up. Do you realize that child abuse? Shame on you. Rosie, you are convicted of assault psychological abuse, and you Daisy help your brother Caillou for beat you up. What do you have to say for yourself, Missy?
I honestly don't care what I've done to Buttercup. She keeps beating my brother Caillou and ruining his life. She even hurt my feeling at school. She also destroyed my bedroom for the revenge. She deserved it, that for what she's done to my brother.
Like I already said to your brother and your father and mother, if she mind your own business and hasn't snitched on Buttercup, this wouldn't have happened. That only you and your brother did to her. You and your brother helped Buttercup for not causing a trouble, but you always being an entitled Karen. That was very insane for you to do that. You two should be ashamed yourself. But at least not as Daisy. You are also convicted of assault psychological abuse and help your brother Caillou for beating Buttercup. What do you have to say for yourself, young lady? Fine, I admit I and Rosie help my brother Caillou for beating Buttercup up. She also put the rotten eggs in school, and she also pitching me and Rosie at St. Patrick Day, sending the bad picture out of her, and I did all that because how the way Buttercup has done and causing trouble around at school.
Daisy, are you serious right now? We can't believe you did the Buttercup with Caillou and Rosie, Boris and Doris.
Yeah, what is the matter with you? We did not raise you that way. Do you realize is a child abuse? We cannot believe you did all that. Just wait until you are found guilty.
Your siblings is right. You should be ashamed of yourself. So how do you plead yourself?
Not guilty.
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 I plead myself not guilty. Well, I plead guilty, but the rest of you plead not guilty. I don't believe this. Can Jack, Paul and Julie come to stand?
Thank you, your honors. So you must be the parents of Buttercup. My wife and me is now very angry how the way you treated your daughter like that. People should be ashamed yourselves. You are seriously punish your daughter way too hard.
I agree with my husband. We hear you. You give your daughter a punishment day for your Father's Day, and you blondish Buttercup. You beat Buttercup with her ultra power for ruining Father's Day. You guys are in serious right now.
Thank you for your scolding on your time. That it's so mean of you. Daisy, you are sentenced to 10 years in juvenile detention. Cantor, Rosie, you are sentenced to 15 years where Daisy will be at. Caillou, for beating Buttercup up at the class, you are sentenced to 25 years where Daisy and your sisters Rosie will be at. After you and your sisters turn 18, you will be moved to Los Santa prison.
What, you can't do this to me? This is the longest sentence ever. Why Buttercup can't sentence? This is not fair. My life is ruined.
Hey, you can't do this to my son like that. He is too young to be sentenced for 25 years like this. This is not good.
Shut up, Doris and Boris, for sending the bad picture out of Buttercup. You two will sentenced to 50 years in prison.
Oh no, not the 50 years. That is very long sentence. I won't live that long there.
Too bad. Life isn't fair. This is your lesson. What have you done to her? Also, Bliss, for punch Buttercup for saying the N-word to you. You are sentenced to 75 years in prison.
75 years. This can't be happened. That is a longest sentence ever. That feel like life in prison.
Well, too bad. This is your punishment. What have you done to your sister Anne Martin for abusing and treating your students and being a strict teacher? And you are no longer a teacher anymore because your job is removed. And Principal PC Guy for allowing child abuse at your school. Abuse your power and abusing and treating one of your students. And you are no longer the principal because your job is removed. You both are sentenced life in jail.
Oh no, we don't want to be sentenced at jail at longer time. This is so not fair.
Wait, you can't do that. You can't give my life away.
I heard that Miss Clementine and Mrs. Eutonium recording troublemaking slumber party video. I heard Alexander Wismer and Nicholas D's video. But anyway, too bad. This is what you done to your students. You will never work as principal and teachers ever again. And finally, Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup for psychological abuse, murder, torture, child abuse and more by giving her 11 punishment day in a row and almost giving her 11th punishment day. You three are sentenced to execution games in giant blendering machine. Your execution is scheduled on May 4th, 2023 until the next few days. And
hey, Your Honor.
What is it, Buttercup?
I had a perfect idea for them. Instead of executing my parents on May 4th, 2023 this year.
Oh, what's it is and what's your idea?
I like to request that we should give my parents a punishment day.
What, Buttercup? How could you? Your honor, please don't accept my daughter's request.
That sounds like a perfect idea.
Yes, because this will my revenge and a payback for my parents giving me a punishment day non-stop. I will decide at how many punishment and think of the perfect one. We'll give them after we're done with the punishment. We will execute them on the giant blendering machine, an execution game for tomorrow, so I have time to think of the worst punishments for my parents.
Please, we're begging you, please don't accept my daughter request. Just executed us on May 4th, 2023, please.
Oh, you have great point about this. Your request is...
Don't you dare accept.
Accepted.
No, 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 no. No, we don't want to have a punishment day.
Well, guess what, Professor? You and your sisters will be scheduled to have a punishment day until 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, stop. You can't do this to my dad and sisters. Please don't give my sibling and my dad a punishment day. You can't do this to them.
Shut up, Bliss. Police, take these people away.
Please don't take us to prison. Please let us go.
Alright, anyways, you will be staying in Japan prison until tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, and when it's time you will be getting a punishment day by every townsfolk, including your daughter. After your punishment day is done, you will be executed in the giant blendering machine in execution game. Police, get those child abuser out of my court.
You can't do this to us. This can't be happening.
Court is now dismissed.
Life event of the trial of Professor Blossom Bubble and Blondish Buttercup is now over. They will be getting a punishment day tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. After the punishment, they will be getting executed by giant blendering machine in execution game. If you want to join and help Buttercup giving her parents a punishment day, sign up at the police station. It ends until 10 p.m.
Anyways, we will go on a commercial break. Stay tuned for more NHK Japan news.
Yeah, I can't wait them die tomorrow for getting a punishment day.